Okay. Music is medicinal. That's the health reasons. One second. I said this vision, Judy, that the end of time, there's going to be a special dance for Simchat Shlomo. And at one point, you and I are going to do a dance. It's going to be mutter because there'll be no more Yetzer Hara, and Judy and I will be able to dance together. It's going to happen.
I cannot wait.
There'll be a special dance for the first part of the Yeshiva when I wasn't part of the Yeshiva, and then there'll be a special part for this Kufa, a special dance.
Practices every Wednesday with Gideon. Every Wednesday you practice the dance with Gideon.
We're practicing, wow. Okay. There's cookies, Chevach.
Yes, about popcorn.
Thank you, and popcorn. My goodness. Thank you. Okay, actually, I'm gonna stop recording and start another one so people listen to the recording can just get this here. Okay. This is Yemi's Bar. Page Kuf Mem Vav at the bottom. We're learning this. Oh, wrong page. Yeah, right page. We're learning Yichud Harichud. This amazing thing of being connected while we're far. Someone said this chapter title is it's the greatest of the great. It's so good for the 3 weeks. The Yichud of Richuk. Not the Yichud despite Richuk. Like we learned. It's part of life. The Yichud of Richuk. Connect to Hashem even when you're fundraising. Chaim. Even when you're paying taxes, even when you're waiting at Misrad Panim.
Oh my gosh! In physics, that's oh my gosh! what is the word? I just had it. Entanglement.
Entanglement, yeah.
Entanglement.
Okay, I have to look that up. Yeah.
Well, it's all from Hashem.
It's all from Hashem, exactly. Life includes times that they're not they call it DMC. They're not the deep, meaningful conversation. They're just in between times. Shlomo used to say, in the meanwhile. Geweldig, the meanwhile, the heilige meanwhile. And the Yichud of Richuk. We spoke about this last week to begin this chapter, and we're continuing. Move on. Sheinis bodus tamid b'matzav shel yisachdus. V'yesahu lechas v'soveves al dibur hanechshav yoter chitzon klapei hanakuda hapinimis. Not every Hitbodedut is constantly, not every time, and not every minute within every time that you're having Hitbodedut, are you experiencing like the climactic connective thing of Yichud, right? Sometimes I need to speak about things that are more superficial, less inner, but they're part of the, this is the issue that there is in the world with, that's why it's so important to learn Chumash Rashi, and to learn Halacha, and if you're up for it, to learn Mishnayos and Gemara and Medrash and everything, and not just Panemius and Chassidus, because you know what happens? If you only learn Panemius, then the Panemius becomes Chitzonius. The innerness needs an outerness to hold it. It needs a vessel. Otherwise, the apple has no skin, it's just going to turn brown. The innerness, we need some outerness. It's very good and healthy. It's so good. We have Parshat HaShavua. It's so good. Can I do this on Shabbos? It's so good to learn these things. They're not the, ooh, wow, the spitz thing, the break your heart and cry thing, but they're holding you. They're holding you. It's really good. One of Shalom Zal's biggest things was learning Chumash Rashi, and how he would. One of my friends, I think it takes many, many years to get to the Madrega, but you can be so into learning a pasuk with Rashi. It takes like 30, 40 years of learning Torah to deeply, to like really appreciate a pasuk with a Rashi. We need. It's a bit more rachok. What, I don't know what this pasuk. Okay, it's describing Og Melech HaBashan or some weird thing, and Rashi saying something how tall he was or whatever it is. Seder, your soul understands. It's going in. Baruch Hashem, we don't have to think through our physical digestion. Imagine if we did, then we'd really be stressed. No, left turn. Oh, plasma, wrong thing. It's a carbohydrate. We'd really be going crazy if we had to think it through. It happens. It just happens. And it's the same thing with Talmud Torah. David Melech says, Torah is your spiritual food. And you don't have to understand how. We have cookies, we have popcorn. The previous year somebody brought, today's like, we're learning this thing. We need that, we need it. It's not superficial. It's not like, sometimes a person in their life, they spend years and years only learning the more superficial dimension of Torah, and they need a bunch of time where the emphasis is mostly Chassidus. Some people need that, and it happens. I've seen that, and it can also be healthy. But you always need at least a little bit. Stay with the Parsha, stay with Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, something that like protects it, that holds it, right? And so with Hitbodedut too, it's not like a full thing of Hitbodedut. If all I'm doing is talking about the inner life and how this and that and thank you Hashem and save me Hashem, and sometimes it's like, man, the commute to Yerushalayim is so hard, and it is. Every single day is another sipur. Sometimes there's a drive-by. That means the bus goes by and doesn't pick me up. You get a drive-by. I'm like, oh, like fall to the ground. It's boiling hot. And then sometimes there's a double drive-by. The second bus drives by and also doesn't pick me up. L'chaim. Sometimes I'm telling Hashem about this. You know? I'm not expecting Hashem to like explain. You know? I'm just telling him about my day. Or I'm saying like, you know, help me with my midas. I want to be a nice guy. You know, I want to put a good energy out to the rest of the bus, you know, or at least not a negative energy, you know, and so on, right? That's a chunk of the Hitbodedut is going to be that. Sometimes even the whole Hitbodedut will just be about that kind of thing. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone now.
Rabbi Linda, could you speak a little closer to the mic? It's just kind of hard
right.
to hear. Thank you.
Mata Esther, do you hear me okay? Yeah, okay, fine. Okay. Kagon bekashos v'cheshbon nefesh. Bakashos. Sometimes I have requests. I have things I need. Doing a fundraiser. We need to raise the other 50% of the fund. This is Hashem. It's gonna come. Sometimes I have bakashos. Sometimes I have cheshbon nefesh. You know, do I really need to eat that many Doritos just because I'm staying up late making phone calls? I don't know. You know? That's an easy cheshbon. There are worse things that happen also, but whatever. Cheshbon nefesh.
You don't have Doritos in your house. You don't have Doritos in your house. I know that.
Once a year, there's Doritos. I think there's even some left over here at Judy's house from Monday night when we tried to do a call-a-thon over here. Yeah, Anyway, we'll probably do another. Anyway, as long as it takes. No sleep till Brooklyn. Okay. In any case. Okay, so Bekitzer. Sometimes you have to be doing these things that are not like the spitz yichud, they're not the climactic wow thing of like emotional yichud. They're stuff, life stuff. Just like two friends, really good friends. Sometimes they have the DMC, right? And we live for that. My friend, we get together. Okay. Sometimes we get together, it doesn't happen. Sometimes we get together and we end up talking about work things and whatever, but there's still a camaraderie, a connectivity, a depth that's there also, even when we're not having like especially such a deep conversation. We're just talking like, you know, this happened, that happened, my parents, your parents, whatever. Sometimes it's leib up until achdus muflav. Yesh beim gam matzavim shebeim enam omdim on the kudas hayichud beineim. They're not in the DMC. But el misaskim u'masa umat and talk about business, chretza bezeh, inyanim sheyesh beineim, other things that are happening by them. V'davar tolui b'matzavei hanefesh hamishtanim. This matter depends on the moods of the soul that change. Hashem made a changing world. Each hour of the day has a different yichud of Hashem's name. During the daylight hours, it's the 12 Yud Kei Vav Keis. And in the night hours, it's the 12 permutations of Aleph, Daled, Nun, Yud. And within each hour, there's 1,080 chalakim. And within each minute, there's 1,080 regayim, which is almost 20 per second. And each one is different teirufim of Hashem's name that never existed before. Ever. And so right now, the way Hashem's holy name is permuting is that I have a puncher and I have to go to puncheria and probably try to speak in Arabic and hope that they're giving me a tire that's like not 5 years old, you know, and they're actually giving me a new one. Oh, it's a good deal. It was used a little bit. Oh, okay. Is this like the one you took off the previous car?
The same one.
Is this the one you took off from my car last time? Anyway, also sometimes the Yichud Shmoi Yisbarach is having diburim, is talking about how do you say puncture in English? I forgot. It became Israeli. A punctured tire, whatever. Flat tire. That's what flat tire. Yeah, flat tire. But that we operate in Israel, it's such a geshmaka word. I got a puncture. It's like, like high five, you know. But never talui. The matzavi nefesh mitzani. The matzavi hanefesh are changing all the time. Kol kesher sheyesh bo yichud aperos. Every kesher that has, like husband and wife, they have connectivity, and there's fruits. There's like children. Oh, pass the cookies around. This is fruits. Pass the fruits. Thank you. As there's going to be different kinds of situations, different kinds of different things are going to be coming up. Like the way that the sun reflects off the moon. The moon never looks exactly the same, right? It's getting bigger, it's getting smaller. There are times of searching for each other, there are times of separating from each other. It just like went around. That person came for Hashem. It needed to go around. The Yichud Hashem said that the cookies had to be passed. And a person feels that they're like wandering and a little lost. That's okay. That's part of every relationship. It's part of even the best relationships. There's closer and further. There's cycles. There's ins and outs. I feel like plugged up from like the light. But all the way through, there is the general connection. That is continuing and moving forward through this moment and through that moment. Even when there's arguments and even when there's, stuff. There ain't period muchlat. There isn't a complete separation, and so it builds. Kyoto is the same thing in his Hitbodedut.
Rabbi Huda,
Yeah.
this is really so much like the whole rhythm of Shira Shirim. Well, in a way not, because they never actually see each other.
Right.
But, one pulls away, the other goes forward, then the other one pulls away, but there's still this rhythm of...
Right. The fact that there's the different kinds of expression and different kinds of relating and so on, for sure.
Yeah. Just talk a little louder. I don't know, but I can't hear you.
Oh, I don't know. Mates, do you hear me okay? It's fine? Okay, so maybe your speaker needs to be fixed.
No, because one of the other women... No, when one of the women just spoke by you, I heard... I don't know, I think she's sitting by a computer maybe, but I heard her very clearly and very loud.
Clearer than me?
Yeah,
okay, I'll do my best. I just have to be able to see the book while I'm teaching.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Even at a time when a person feels closed up, plugged up, that are called days of hatred. Doesn't mean like hatred, but sina. Gamaz yeshes is yachadus misuyemes. I'm having a hard time. Like I'm feeling a little sanu. Shama Hashem ki sanua anoichi. Shimon, right? Feeling a little hated. Maybe Shimon's there with us. Gamaz yeshes is yachadus misuyemes. There is still even then a kind of oneness with Hashem. Matzavei katnus kayamim afhem v'soda bria v'esem haseder shelahem. Situations of constriction are also part of the way of the world, part of the seder, part of the system, part of the order of reality, and they have their secret, they have their thing. Kol hanoseh. I hear there's like a typo, but in any case, Murkav Gam Prisha Veharchaka. Sorry. Yeah, any or, I think it's the letter, it's meant to say or. every light that produces fruits is going to have situations also of distance and separation. That at the depths, in their depths, the yichudim of katnus, of constriction, become vessels. Just like we were saying, for the panemius, they become vessels for the innerness. Just like the kalipa or the skin of the fruit is a vessel, it holds it, it keeps it, right? Keeps it fresh, keeps it good. It's a very deep thing, klipa. It's not, we actually need klipa, as crazy as it sounds. We need it. Baruch Hashem, we have skin, Gewalt. You're in big trouble. And so on. So they become a vessel. All those Chumash Rashis that we learn, they're holding something for an interconnectivity that comes later. A Yid needs to know that there are these kinds of situations, that this is part of life. You have to be prepared for this and agree in your heart, like say yes to that. This is a big issue, especially for people like me who are privileged to be involved in Torah like a lot. When things come up that have to deal with that are government related or tax related, insurance related, all that stuff, I'm working on it. I've been working on it. I'm still working on it. Not to get upset, not to get annoyed with it, to say yes to it. That yes, this is part of Hashem's Bria. There's a financial system that we're connecting with each other. The Gemara in Baba Basra says that when you have to pay a fine, like a traffic ticket, it's considered like tzedakah. And that's true even in a non-Jewish country, Kal V'chomer in Eretz Yisrael, because your money's going towards better roads and infrastructure and so on. It's almost considered like you're giving tzedakah. Yeah.
I'm just laughing because for some reason Nati told me that he's been getting tickets after tickets.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. It's tzedakah.
It's right. Minugsaich tzedakah. It's Baba Basra, like Yud or Yud Aleph. That so we have to say yes to these things. It's a very deep thing to really say yes to these bureaucratic or whatever annoys you about life. To say yes to it. We're not going to be able to get around it. So sometimes we're going to have to go to the doctor. We're going to have to wait in line. And we should all be healthy. We should all only go to the doctor for the best reasons. But kacha. And even though it's been our avodas Hashem, it gets, and it's normal for it to feel this way. It's like, last Kabbalah Shabbos I was flying and dancing, and this week it's like, right? And we compare. It's normal. It's very normal. It's very normal to feel that way, and to go to the pshitus. Rabbeinu's always saying pshitus and tmima, simplicity, and like wholeness, and just be in the words and the davening of this week. And it's new yichudim. It's new ways that Hashem's name is coming into the world, never before. And maybe it's just not as exciting, and that's okay. It's part of life also, And so he says, and dafka by holding on and continuing my connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu through this matzav, through this situation, through that situation of a Kabbalah Shabbos where I don't know, I'm not so into the chazan, and why am I here anyway? And why did I rush to make early Shabbos? I should have just gone easy, Or the other way, why am I up so late? I'm exhausted. I'm not going to get to bed till 11. Or whatever's going on, the things are like, it's not yichud, it's not how it was last week. And say that. Continue with it, trust it, say the words, pshitus and tmimos. And know that by holding on, you're building a vessel for later connectivities also. There is a carrot also. It's not just hold on and that's it. Hold on that this is going to be a vessel for greater yichud later also. Kamur. Yesh matzavim. As we said, there are situations where nefesh v'neshama margishim etzvam beperud uzgir v'richuk navanad. And nefesh just feels distant, closed up, far away, separated, and just wandering around lost, right? That happens. We just like, whoa, where am I? Oh my gosh. Need a coffee quick. But realize, first of all, that you feel that way because you did once feel closeness. Baruch Hashem. So actually, the more close that we feel, the more sensitive we are to when we not feel, right? It's actually like a simon of growth that you got used to, like a certain level of connectivity.
So it becomes part of your muscle memory.
Becomes part of your muscle memory. Yeah, so right. So exactly. It becomes part of your muscle memory. Becomes part of who you are. So now, like the muscle already remembers, it doesn't right, in the workout world, when it becomes muscle memory, if I'm learning this right, then you don't get ripped anymore because the muscle is used to it. So in order for muscles to grow, they have to do something they don't remember. They have to do something that pushes them a little bit so that they rip, and then the message goes to the brain to tell it that we need more muscle. And so you have to change the weights, you have to change the muscle group you're using, you have to, etc. I'm not so good at these things, but I've learned them, at least a little bit, because my wife is a personal trainer. And so, in any case, I know what I'm doing wrong. In any case, at least I work out. Baruch Hashem. This year has been a whole different year for me because of that. In any case, yeah, it becomes muscle memory, and so could be actually that what you're experiencing now was in previous months or years really a deep experience, but now you're used to next level, and so what you're feeling now feels like nothing, but actually for you last year this would have been a gewalt, you know. So in any case, he says, as I have biyosabel to ata bizmanim shonim matzavi nefesh hamishtanim bechol zo yish bepnimis li bukirva la hergesh hapnimi hamalachesh lo besoy des kirvas lo Hashem yisbarach. That's beautiful language. It says, on the inside, while you're feeling the absurdity and lost and separated and mefurad, mefuzar, inside, the part of you that remembers Purim is whispering to you that you are close to Hashem, even though you don't feel it right now. Right? There's a part of you that is building that trust. Even though this closeness is not like the full kind of closeness, it's happening in this aspect of distance. It's the closeness of distance. Leiv mevin, leiv amakabel, yodea, an understanding heart, a heart that's used to receiving from Hashem, knows that right now there's a shefa that's coming to me in this way, in a richuk kind of a way. That's how the shefa is coming to me right now. Right? The yichudim of Hashem Yisbarach right now are me getting annoyed that someone, and he knows I've been waiting here, went right in front of me in the line of Misrad Apnim. And now the yichud is to be a little less angry. I don't know if I'm going to be zeichet to be not angry, but at least a little bit. That's the yichud. That's mamish. What's that?
It feels better too.
Yeah.
Get angry, that doesn't feel good.
Right, angry, right,
It's so
exactly.
negative, I mean, it plugs up more. basically.
And the thing is, right, he's saying to be able to say yes to these things. This itself can be a real topic in the Hitbodedut. Hashem, help me say yes to the bureaucracies, to the waiting is in line, to the whatever I have to go through, the things that aren't to the shuls that I don't like, to the shul I like the Jew on the desert island who makes 2 shuls, Let me say, yes, this is also Yiddishkeit, these are Jews. Somewhere inside I love them, maybe I don't feel it right now, but right? It's a big zach. Ramam is a great topic for his Hitbodedut. Hashem help me say yes to all these things, all these experiences and aspects of life that are really part of life, and to have yichud harichuk, the yichud with you in the matzav of richuk, in the situation of distance, and the heart. We building our heart to understand this, to become a well-traveled heart. Sometimes you meet a person, you're in India and it's your first time, and you meet someone and they're a well-traveled person. They know how to go here, how to go there. They know the main words and the languages of India. There's like 50 languages in India or more, and whatever it is, right? And we can become well-traveled Jews, and traveling through these matzavim, through all these yichudim, through all these situations, instead of just being so silly about it, of saying, oh, these ones are good and these ones are bad, to be like, okay, bein b'tivu, bein b'aku, right? V'zois ha'bchina, b'chinas, bein olam haba, Rabbeinu said, Torah Daled, right? Hashem halel davar, Elokim halel davar. Shlomo said that Rabbi Nachman was working his whole life to experience each moment like he never experienced it before. To do everything he ever did like it was the first time ever. Hashem is constantly mamish mechadesh betuva b'choyim tovim ma'aseh bereisis, and that's true. That's not like maybe. That's mitziyut. Chiddush kamayni, meaning I know how to be mechadesh, right? I know how to keep up with Hashem's hischadshus, to be listening, to be present. When we live in our dibyainus of a story that we tell each other again and again, it's so boring. Hashem is saying, can you tell me a different story? Can you listen to my story a little bit? Please. Also tell me your own story. I want to hear everything. Hashem wants to hear everything. But the goal is to actually have, it's a derech of his chadshus. Rabbeinu is, it's not like a nice way that you'll be able to have chizuk if you have his chadshus. This is reality. And it's just called learning to live in the world, to connect to the hischadshus of each moment, of each situation, which means practically saying yes to things in life that we don't like, in situations that we don't like, believing that they're from Hashem, and connecting to Hashem in the yichud, not trying to bypass them, not trying to somehow get somebody else to take care of it, not trying to, whatever it is. Yichud ha-richuk. Ki gam b'shas ha-richuk hoime ha-lei v'pnimiyusoi his kashrus emes v'ne'emanus. You see, he's malabed chus on the tzionim, because how does the Hatikva song go? Kol b'levav pnima nefesh Yehudi homiyah. Homiyah. He just used that word. Hoime halev. Midei dabi b'chodecha. Hoime libi aledecha. This is hoime. Maybe that's where the word Hamish comes from. Just kidding. It's not. But it's my heart is longing for this connection, right? And that is always available. Anoisen v'mekabel lo yamir lo lamazek asher hazeh b'yichud acher. A real giver and receiver, the real thing of who we really are and who Hashem really is. We'll never let go of this kesher. We'll never let go. Rav Kook. I don't know Rav Kook well enough, but Rav Kook said that you only really start davening when you realize that your neshama is always davening. So beautiful. You only really start davening when you realize, like, when it's time for me to daven, all I have to do is tune in to the place in me that never stopped. That was amazing. It's always hoime. Nefesh Yehudi, hoimiyah. So beautiful. That's gonna be the big gilui when Mashiach comes. It's gonna show that the Hatikva, it doesn't have Hashem's name in it, like the Megillah Esther, because the longing is so deep. Hashem is in every word. Like the whole song is about hope and longing for Hashem. Tikva, Lashon Kav, the Kav from the Ein Sof, from the Gevalt. Okay. Let me learn הקשר הזה בייחוד אחר. שניהם יודעים שעוד נכונו להם זמנים אחרים, שמצד אחד הרי מצויים בדרך לקרסם. אך מצד שני יש טעם מיוחד לייחוד ריחוק זה. And there has this new term, ייחוד ריחוק. This special ייחוד ריחוק. There's מצד אחד it is instrumental. It's an instrument for something else. Holding on to the yichud in this situation will be a vessel for a much deeper yichud later. Right? The fact that I learned the Chumash with Rashi, so then later, when I learn the Kedushas Levi, wow, it's going to land much stronger, right? It's going to be because I have a guf for the neshama to land in, right? On the other hand, there's also yichud harichuk. That's not just because it's going to get me something later, a better yichud later. The yichud of the richuk itself is one of the yichudim. It is a yichud. That's my mamish. This is an amazing thing. That's what we were learning about last week in the Purim Shir. 2 weeks ago. The Sfar Kedoshim say that after the Geula Shlema v'Yichud Hashalom, od yizgagu b'nei Yisrael otam yichud richuk shehaya lahem b'shnos hagalus. We're actually going to miss, after Mashiach comes, we say, I miss that thing of eking out, of managing to say like half a kapitel Tilim while I'm waiting for 5 hours. And like for 30 seconds, I remember Hashem. And I said half. But when Mashiach comes, it's going to be so revealed. I'll be like, I miss the way I tasted connecting to Hashem like that. Isn't that amazing? We're going to miss that, right? There's a Torah from the Sfas Emes that says, Ravlach Sheves be'emek habacha. Don't read Ravlach Sheves be'emek, read Ravlach Shabbos be'emek habacha. Great are the Shabbases that we have while we're still in the Valley of Tears. Mashiach comes, we're going to miss these Shabbases. Wow, we're going to miss them even though it's a Pele. And this we were learning last time, that this is Ad Lo Yada Purim. Purim is so high. Purim is beyond the difference between exile and redemption. And so Purim gives you Geula from Geula. Because when Geula comes, it'll be so revealed, it will feel a little bit stuck that everything's revealed. And then we'll have Purim, and it'll be hidden again. And we'll know we were with you, Hashem, and the hiddenness from before, we were with you there, and with you now. And we're not only with you because of the Geula. We were with you all the same before also. And so that was a big thing. We'll get to a whole another topic. But in any case, here he's saying the Tam Yichud Richuk, we're gonna miss that. The Davka Az ve'havta ve'avas oil mavtich. Right? Ahavat olam avtich. I love you. Every morning we say Avas olam in the Birkas Kriyashma. Avas olam avtanu comes from that pasuk. It comes from that pasuk Yirmiyahu Lamed Aleph, and right in that pasuk is Meirachak Hashem nirali. From afar, Hashem, I see Hashem. Because the ahava within olam is also hiddenness. It also means forever, but also means hidden. Merachok hu havanas toyu v'chorben u'shviras hakelim hakoidmim la'atikum. There's the whole thing of klipa kadma labri, the whole situation of being in chaos, in destruction, in broken vessels. Ke'arichuk bainas akiru. At the end of the day, the distance builds the connection, the closeness. V'davka b'shas richuk halavava is noladim hagaguim. In English, we say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Davka, in these situations of distance, the heart feels. The whole hatikva is made from that idea. Hahoimim bekiruv, waiting, longing for that kiruv lachamikin velving. Boisa inyan, and similarly, in a slightly different way, is a Torah from Rabbeinu that he quotes here, Torah Kuf Tzadi Hey 195 in the Likutei Moharan. Batzar hirchavtali. Hainu shegam afilu behatzara be'atzma. He's quoting the words of the Likutei Moharan. In the very trouble itself, we have a trouble, right? The Iran war, Bonagid. A trouble, a stress, a trouble. Tachini, we get to be home a little more. So we can, in the simplest way, we can find a silver lining. Okay, now I can finally, clean that closet or whatever, whatever it is. It's a positive. There's a harchava in the tzar, right? So we're learning. Up till now, we said the yichud of richuk is a vessel for the future to have kiruv. We said it's its own special thing of yichud, and also there's another thing, which is there's also a harchava, like a direct benefit in the richuk also. In this situation, I wouldn't have chosen that. I wish it was different, but if you just say it's bad, then you'll miss that there's gains. Instead of just sitting home depressed, you could have designed your living room again, whatever it is, right? So he says that's this Torah B'tzar Chavtali.
Rabbi Hunter,
Yeah.
you said the yichud of richuk is a vessel for the future, and
Yes.
and it's its own special thing for what?
It's also its own special way of tasting our connection with Hashem. It's something we'll even miss after Mashiach comes, because we won't have as much of that kind of an opportunity then. Wild. But now he's saying a third thing, that within the situation of Richuk, like if you're stuck at home because of the Iran war, but maybe now you can finally clean your kitchen or whatever. There's like Pashat, good, harchava that you can find within the tzara. That if you just say, it's bad, and you just sit there depressed, but you miss actually the non-ideal situation brings with it opportunities mamish. But within that very situation itself, right? There's a third thing about yichud harichud, and that's his Torah Likutei Moharan. And just to finish that thing that he quoted this Torah, you can look. This is what David HaMelech is teaching us when he said, "Batzar hirchavtali." I think it's David HaMelech also said, "V'yom ra'a re'eh," on a bad day, look. Even if it's a bad day, there may be some special things that within that, and even because of that situation, there are things you can find that are positive. Gam behatzara ba'atzma, and within the very troubling thing itself, Hashem Yisbarach marchiv lo magdil chazdo imoy. V'zeh batzar hirchavtali, hainu afilu b'soich hatzara ba'atzma, nasatali harchava b'soicha. You're giving me a expandedness in the tzara, in the constriction. Aside from the fact that we're waiting for Hashem to save us from all the tzaras and for the yichud of kiruv to come, etc., Amr Chazal, next section. Amr Chazal b'vakama ein gimel sheshir toich kedei dibur. Concept of toich kedei dibur. Toich kedei dibur is an idea that you can fix the things you say halachically within an amount of time, within a short amount of time. Some say it's 3 words here. He brings the opinion of 4 words. Shalom alecha Rebbe, or Shalom alecha Rebbe hu moiri. And he brings an example. Shadaina matzui betocha inyan hakodem v'terem chalaf emenu al kinadayin yachol hashlim ulitaken. You're still within the time. Because Baruch Hu, understands that we live in in sequential time. Things happen one after another, right? And sometimes we say things that we don't mean, or we say something slips out, and so you can fix it with it as long as you're within toch kedei dibur. We're not we can't fully. Like most of us, can't fully be in the mamish, the instant. So they expand the amount of time to like this many syllables. Shalom alecha Rebbe Umayri. Within that amount of time, you're still in the middle of talking, and like when you send the email and there's like you can undo, for a few seconds before while Gmail is sending the email. You know what I'm talking about? You can like still take it back. You're still in the middle of sending it. Like you're still in the middle of saying it. Yeah.
But once you say something and it's bad for whatever reason,
Right.
you can't bring it.
Once it's out, it's out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's, my rabbi in California said, once the words are out there,
Yeah.
you can never bring them back. And I have this vision.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta watch. We gotta watch.
Yes,
We gotta value the silence,
you really
mamish.
do.
Yeah, mamish. And there's also Torah deepen. Mashmos Torah deepen. The ikri shadayin ha'adam matzu b'sechin and akoyim v'term v'chalaf imenu v'alken adayin yachol hashlim etaken. For example, I'm in the Shemon Esrei, and I'm saying Baruch Atah Hashem, and I say Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim. It's let's say it's Shavuos, and it's on a weekday, and by mistake I said Baruch Atah Hashem Mekadesh Hashavdis. So if I'm toch kedei dibur, I can just, instead of having to start the bracha again from the beginning, I can just say Mekadesh Shabbos. Oh wait, I don't have to actually say wait. I just realize it's Mekadesh Amo Yisrael, Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmani, Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmani. Right, the proper end of the bracha for Yantiv. When they wanted to, they could have chosen any sentence, right? Shlomo Lecha Rebbe is like a connection with the tzaddik, a connection with the Rebbe, right? They could have chosen any sentence. Naktu davka teu Shlomo Lecha Rebbe umayri ki ikar hayichud naseh. Why is that? And particularly the Indian of Shalom, because the main yichud happens in the bracha of Sim Shalom. Rav Nosson even brings in the Good Halachos that when you say Mevarach Etzam Yisrael B'Shalom at the end of Shemon Esrei, it's not only tefillah, there's Torah coming down. It's like mamish. There's one thing we have to turn our Torah into tefillah, and it's also turning tefillah into Torah. So it gets a little less airtime. That's also in Torah Chavez, turning tefillah into Torah. That the end of the Shemon Esrei really lands and really finishes. Shalom. Shalom is one of the characteristics of Torah. Shalom means He's giving you your Torah for that day. With that, in the end of the end of the Shemon Esrei. It's a big yichud, a big connectivity. Remez gam lichud Talmud v'Rav, Rebbe Yomayri Mashpio Makabel. It's also a remez to the connection. It's not just Shalom Alecha, it's Shalom Alecha Rebbe. It's a connection with a teacher, which is how Torah happens. What is yichud? Yichud is complete connectivity with nothing coming in between. Right? Nothing coming in between. Right? Remember Rabbi David Sachs in LA? He's an amazing Torah teacher, and the Yeshiva should listen to him. He's also incredibly funny. The people who don't understand, like when you say, okay, my wife and I need to be alone now, and they're like, okay, good, we're alone. And this third person, and you're like, no, I'm saying my wife and I need to be alone. Yeah, I get it, good, we're alone, People who don't understand, that they're... So, a real yichud is... There's been nothing in between. Right? Complete yichud. Lo hefsek. Ve'vegilui shekol apirud shehaya beintaim hainu kolo. Hino kolo haya. Ve'che'enu kayam klal. Ki ha'emes sheyesh kan yichud shalem. Right? That once that yichud shalem happens, then it makes clear that any time that seemed like there was distance, it wasn't. There's a oneness. This is an example with the idea of Tokadei Dibur. She'im Tokadei Dibur Tikan Atzum V'Chasam V'Karejov as Manim Harei Shechasimaso B'Taus Kilo Haisa Klal. That mistake thing that I said, Mekadosh Shabbos, it's like stricken from the record. It's like as if it wasn't. And my name of Hashem that I said, it's also true by Kiddush. We're saying Malchus also, Melech HaOlam. The Shem and the Malchus need to go on the proper expression of the bracha. But since it's Tochadei Dibur, so even though I was thinking the wrong, is also part of it's a big inyan about thinking the wrong thing, etc. But in the end of the day, this is how we pass it. Tochadei Dibur fixes it. It fixes it. It's as if all of that disconnect and wrong thing wasn't there at all. Wasn't there at all. There's such a shleimus. I'm saying the word shalom. I mean, it's the amount of time it takes to say shalom, alecha, Rebbe, umayri. That is the amount of time because that is the expression of the depths of yichud. And that expression of the depths of yichud is what just makes clear that any time that looks like there isn't yichud, like I'm saying the wrong bracha or whatever it is, isn't real. It disappears. The Soda Hitbodedut takes us even further. The secret of Hitbodedut, ha'adam magia megaleh al kol ma she'avar alav. A person comes and starts telling Hashem everything he's going through. Me'az ha'Hitbodedut hakodemes, at least since the last time he came to do Hitbodedut. Shekulo yichud echad. Uchlal lo haya pirud beinu laHashem Yisbarach. Kizu havana shel toch kedei dibur. Wow, it's so beautiful. Dibur davka. She'adam masmich techef the dibur laHashem Yisbarach. Hamasakin v'choisim v'sa'im v'sa'nechoin. I come and I bring what's going on. Toch kedei dibur. Instead of seeing it as like just the amount of time, it's I bring whatever's going on in my life into my dibur of Hitbodedut, and then it becomes yichud, and anything that was period just disappears. Right? You're using like the energy of Toch Kedei Dibur, which is an energy of yichud with the Rebbe, yichud of Torah, yichud with Hashem, the shalom and shleimus. And so I'm bringing all of the period of whatever was going on since last time we did these Hitbodedut, and bringing it Toch into Kedei Dibur, and then everything becomes connected to Hashem. So like a Rabbi Umayri Toch Kedei Dibur Hainu Talmid Omer Rabbi sheyesh b'neim yichud shalom lo period hefsek. Saying shalom like a Rabbi Umayri is a expression that the student has a connection with his Rebbe in a way that is not has no separation or anything coming in between them. Any hefsek. V'areihem b'vchinas hamshachas de toch kedei dibur. Shehashpas harav shenichteva mimekor hashpal yoina idenu noivas v'chala below shehaisav saka beinai v'im haisachas v'shalom yiglayim milsa atar shebatla mevutalas. It's a very interesting thing actually. There's a machlokes rishonim about what is this idea of toch kedei dibur. Is it because there's a Tosfos mash? I went into the sugya a little earlier this year, but like there's a mashmos, there's what seems to be that every moment I have to be ready to be able to say Shalom Aleichem to my Rebbe if he would pass by. So every dibur I ever say is on condition that maybe I'll have to interrupt it because my Rebbe might pass by. You hearing this? So every dibur of a Jew is like on condition to their connection to the tzaddik. Understand how big this is? It's an unbelievable thing, right? Every dibur is like, but I might have to say Shalom Aleichem to my Rebbe. So you have to give me that amount of time to fix, because so in other words, it's not just that generically like we live within time and we need to be able to fix things. The raya against this, the proof against this, is that sometimes Toch Kedei Dibur is used not only in terms of talking, is used in terms of tearing kriya. In the horrible situation of a person tearing kriya lo aleinu, let's say they think that their father passed away, and they tear kriya, and within toch kedei dibur they find out it was their mother, so the kriya counts. So that is more like on the way I first presented it, which is that it's an amount of time that the Rebbeinu Shalom gives us, that we live within time, and things happen like not exactly in the instant, but if they're close enough, so it's considered within one amount of time, within the same instant, right? We can't do two things at the same time. We can't say two things at the same time. We can't correct ourselves immediately. We can't always know exactly what's going on within the moment. And so within our human situation, Hashem expands time for ad of toch kedei dibur, that it's called you tor kriya at the time you heard of your mother, right? Lolay, right? So interesting, right? But the first mahalach is not like that. The first mahalach is the second mahalach is that it's really about dibur, that every and Tosfos is very, like in other Rishonim also, it seems very clear that really, like, Chazal want you to always be able to say Shalom Aleichem to your Rebbe if he happens to pass by. What's that?
Why can't it be like even stuff we do? Even stuff we do.
Yeah, that's Kriya. That Kriya is an example.
The ability to say Shalom Aleichem, like, right?
Oh, with that
connected to the deeper, like.
Right.
Even stuff we do, we need to have the space.
Yeah, maybe. So that could answer up the Kriya in economic. There's a big, here it's a Shevach area in Torah. Every case of toch kedei dibur, and look at it and look at it's that. But yeah, that's he's saying. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it could all be the same Indian. Yeah, 100%, 1,000%. But in any case, here what he's talking about is that the hashpa, that the toch kedei dibur is built on, that I have this connection that never ends with my Rebbe. Right? He's saying you have this connection, just like these Hitbodedut, you're bringing in your connection to Hashem. So whatever happened since my last Hitbodedut is now brought in toch to the dibur, but also my connection to the Rebbe is also always there, meaning at any time, maybe I'll say I need to say Shalom Aleichem to him, and there's a constant connectivity, right? Again, the idea being that the possibility for the need to say Shalom Aleichem to my Rebbe, the yichud shalem of that we have with Hashem in His Hitbodedut, both of those things are about how even when I am saying the wrong thing, or I'm stuck in a situation where I'm not, I need to do His Hitbodedut, and I haven't been so good about it in the middle of the in between, but it can be brought back into it, because toch kedei dibur is about a constancy of connection, and a connection that has no hefsek, whether it's within one moment or whether it's within bringing the last bunch of moments in, even though it's not technically toch kedei dibur, but it's a different way of bringing it into the dibur. He says, and then he ends off with this thing. Mashiach Yagid Yisrael. This is one of the amazing things that Rabbeinu said. One of the most amazing things. Rabbeinu said, and it's brought in the back of Sipurei Maisias, Maisa Yud, the 10th story in the Sipurei Maisias. Mashiach Yagid Yisrael. Kol ma she'avar Yisrael b'chol yom v'yom. Mashiach is going to tell every Jew everything that they went through each day of their lives. One of the most amazing things. It's going to take probably hundreds or thousands of years for him to have, tell every yid, it's like,
one big Shalom Aleichem with Rabbi.
Oh my gosh, talk about it, Shalom Aleichem with Rabbi, right? How does it go? Baruch haba Melech HaMashiach. Right? There's a whole, by the way, there's a Seder, you can find it, I'm sure you can get it online, from Rav Shlomo Zalman. The Seder of the brachas and tilim to say when Mashiach comes. Have the things you can put on your fridge, right? Gewalt. Baruch haba Mashiach yagil Yisrael masha avral Yisrael kol yom v'al kol echad v'echad Yisrael bifrat. Every single yid, every single day, everything that went on in your day is so amazing. It's mama's off the charts. Oiro shel Mashiach, this light, which is the light of Hitbodedut. Oiro shel Mashiach masmich l'chol Yehudi as a gilui ha'amiti shekulo tov, is to bring close to every yid this revealed thing. Now we have it, it's not so close. We believe that it's kulo tov. We have to say dayina emes, right? That's one of the Gemara says when Mashiach comes, we're going to say tov v'meitiv about everything. Now we can't. We're not expected to. We're far from the kulo tov. But when you go over your whole life like with Mashiach, off the charts, megale shekol ma she'iraim kol shnos hagalos. It's going to be one big fixing of toch k'dei diber. Ani hayoim yilidaticha, right? That Mashiach, that Hashem's going to say to Mashiach and to all of Am Yisrael, that it's going to feel like since Adam until Mashiach was all just like one day. There's a little bit of a hazy day. You know, Mashiach help you remember. Remember this thing? Oh yeah, it's like after Purim. You know, like remember that happened. What's that? Yom es Milkiyav. Also, Purim is Lashon Hafara, which has to be Toch Le'es Le'es. Hashem's going to be Mayfair, all of our Nedarim, fix everything. Okay. Hakol Haya Hemshechius Achas Nisteres Shel Tov. We'll be able to actually see how every moment of our whole lives was one long story of good. Even when we were mamish getting it wrong. But we were so good the whole way through. Sugar and sweet. So good, so good. It was all three-pointed shoes that taste like sugar. Lolo perud kal, not even with like a tiny perud, not even a perud kal, not even a light separation. Mishorsho from my shorsh of Hashem. Ikar makoro machzavto. And the remez is, oh wow, cool. He never does this. The remez of toich kedei dibur, taf chaf dalad, toich kedei dibur, is Gematria Mashiach ben David. How about that? You say, oh, look. You know, he'll like mashlim everything we ever said, like, oh, you know, he'd be like, oh, everything I ever said was all tefillah. It was like, gewalt, you know. Oh, Hashem. Okay, that's the end of our chapter. Questions and thoughts?
Wonder. So,
Yeah.
Rabbi David Foreman once explained when it says.
Rabbi David Foreman. Yeah.
When it says, you know, Sarah lived 100 years and 20 years and 70 years and 7 years, what does that mean? It means that every part of her life, let's say childhood and then like adulthood and then old age, she always brought from the previous part of her life into what's going on now. So all those, it's not like, oh, I was a child, I thought differently, I was different. All the wonder of a child, she still maintained even as an adult, and let's say the accomplishments of an adult, she maintained even as an older woman. So she mastered time, and then he connects that with Esther, who mastered space, because it says she ruled over 127 Medinot. It's like, otherwise, what's the connection? So what you're saying here is that every disparate piece of connection is all going to coalesce into one, and that's what Sarah did, and that's what Sarah Imenu did, and that's why she mastered time, and that's why
so beautiful. Yes, thank you. And you know, I'm sorry. You finished what you were saying?
Yeah, no, but that's why the pasuk expresses it in that way, because it's a very unusual way.
It's Shana. It's so beautiful because what you're saying, because Dafka, those numbers of 120 and 7, Rav Nosson says in the Kuta Halachos, I'm forgetting where, but Rav Nosson says in the Kuta Halachos that I think it's in Bechor Behema Tamea Dalid. Rav Nosson says there that the 100 is 100 brachas we say each day, which is Dibur, and the 27 is the 22 letters plus the 5 end letters. So the way that time and space become one is through our diburim, through our Hitbodedut, through the Ma Hashem Samimcha Altikama Elamea. And yeah, geweldig. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Okay, Chevin, thank you so much for coming.